Why managers fail? Our subject is looks negative, but it is a reality also. And why I am telling this point? Because yes, managers do fail. And being a student of management, you are aiming to be a manager, you are aiming to be a leader, you are aiming to be a chairman, you are aiming to be a managing director. And in case if you are not focused on your profession, nobody can avoid your failure. So before anyone speaks up, before anybody labels you as a failure, why not to understand the phenomena? And if you understand the phenomena from the very grassroots level, okay, we are going to see some management terms and everything, I'm not denying about it. But you have to understand this phenomena from the very grassroots level, why this exists at all. So let's continue exploring more on the subject. See, the Microsoft we all know, correct? And we know the current CEO of also Microsoft, Satya Nadella. He joined the company Microsoft in year 1992. And when he joined the company in 1992, do you think he dreamed of that in year 2014 I will become the CEO? Correct. And he became the CEO in 2014. But what he did, he kept evolving himself. He focused on his organization growth, and at the same time he focused on his own personal growth also. And when you focus on organization growth and personal growth, so you remain a student and you remain a good soldier for your organization. And the rest of the job is done by the organization. So remaining a student and remaining a true soldier to the organization are one of the basic essential requirements to grow in the ladder. I'm not right now discussing about why manager fails, or I'm not labeling Satya Nadella is 100% successful or 100%. No, I'm not talking that. I am giving you a very basic concept. Be strict to your appointment, be strict to your profession, keep learning, keep growing. And in your whole journey, every day in your profession, if you have not learned, think that you are absent in your office on that day. You must learn something extra. You must add a value to your organization. And this slide is really the previous and this slide is an essence to start the subject actually. See, when you join the organization as a fresh graduates or you join the organization, day one in your professional life. And then when you go your organization, you see your CEO, you see your managers, correct? Getting my point? And you say, one day I'll be like this. Yes, correct. Same like when you take an admission in BBA or MBA programs or any other graduations program. One day I'll be Bachelors of Business Administration. One day I'll be Masters of Business Administration, correct? 3 years period, 2 years period, correct? So you see that vision. That vision should be there in you always. There is no compromises on that. That vision should be there in you. But I specially took the help of Gemini AI to make this picture, and which is then my concept, that when you join an organization, every day when you are learning, you are building yourself block by block. You are adding a value to yourself. And when you become more knowledgeable, when you become more informed, automatically your organization gets a benefit out of you. Because organizations is in the hands of a person who is striving for the information, who is striving for the knowledge, and he is contributing to the organization in a better way. And because of this reason, when you become a manager, you are full of skills, you are full of experience. I will talk these two first right now. Why? Because you are aware about all the steps, all the events, all the activity which is under your umbrella as a manager, because you have not done a parachute jumping. You have reached to the manager position step by step, block by block learning. And why it is required, we'll see in our coming slides, don't worry. This journey of building the self is why important to be a manager, and why it is important to avoid the failure of a manager is equally important. So when I say you are a manager or you are a future manager, when I say manager means it's not only manager, it's manager, general manager, okay, deputy CEO, CEOs, CMDs, chief operating officer, chief finance officer, anybody, they're all managers, senior management, whatever you want to say. But when you go to that position, you are really having in-depth knowledge of the things. You understand what is your business is all about, because you have dealt it by hands. When I say block by block means what? You have done it by your own hands. You know how the things work. You know how the things are interconnected. You know the things which are not interconnected. You know the things which need to be avoided. You know which things should not be avoided. You are not guessing when you become a manager. You are not guessing. You are not assuming. At least from the ladder or your core business which is under you. And that's why it is called, yes, I learned this block by block, and let's move to the next block. We are going to cover these agenda items in our 2 days session today and tomorrow. But just relax, because remember one point, that you are going to get this presentation, so just be with me and keep your eyes and ears open. Okay, so now when we are trying to understand the focused area of manager's failure, or why do manager fails, if you know in advance, so one day when you are a manager, you will take care of this from today onwards itself. You will learn it. You will not allow the things to happen by the shortcuts. You will not allow the things to pass just like this. There's a good saying in Hindi, na? Aao karke sikhe. That means let's learn by doing it, self-doing it. So these are some of the basic essential concepts to be in the flow. Effective management. Before we get into the manager's failure reasons and discussions and everything, understand that there is a management and there is an effective management. There is a very big difference in both of them. Effective management is not about micromanagement. I'm managing my employees, they are perfectly coming in office time, they are perfectly going office time. Effective management is not about this. Effective management is your employees are producing, giving the right productivity to you or not? Is your employee, each and every employee is contributing to organization or not? That should be the purpose of management. It's not the school that bell rings at 7 and bell rings at 1 o'clock and students in, student out. No. Effective management says, what is the productivity? And by the way, this concept will be coming up in not only in the industry. This concept is coming up in our education system also. Effective management of educational resources. And if the effective management is missing, and not to say that productivity will decrease, disengagement will happen. Your employees will be disengaged. They are not aware. They are disengaged with each other. They are disengaged with the basic flow of the organization. Let's go and let's come. We'll continue. And in turn, company is going to have a financial losses. There's no doubt about it. So, we do not want this. We want an effective management in place. Every organization wants an effective management. Every organization wants its employees are productive, its systems are productive, its processes are productive. And to ensure that organization is doing effective management, they need to have effective managers. And when managers are not effective, managers are said, thank you. Because they are not impacting one small activity or process. They are impacting the direct productivity of company, impacting the direct top line and bottom line from an organization, and which has a very critical role to play. Organizations are working for what? Profit. Increase revenue, increase profit. So that's why the effective management is very important to be in place. And that's why effective management is a foundation for selecting an employee, retaining an employee. I'll be very frank in this, giving an example, so don't worry about that, but they'll be very close to your heart when you understand that, okay? Lack of clear vision, okay? If a manager has no clear vision, by virtue you became the manager, okay? But if you do not possess a clear vision, and by the way, it's not only to say that why the manager fails. At the same time, we discuss other side of the coin also, that why manager should not fail, or what manager should do so he should not fail. Lack of clear vision. See, if you swim in this water bottle, you will be able to see the water bottle only from the inside. But if you get out of it and just keep the bottle in front of your eyes and look it from the outside, then you are able to see a global picture. In your office, in your colleagues or yourself or your bosses, whenever any task comes, if they directly start discussing that task without understanding from a third party views from outside that what is the purpose of that task, that is the first symptom that the team and the manager lacks the clear vision. Because every task is not same. You must see any task any target given to you from an outside as a third party to understand its roles, requirements, consequences, everything. Probably when you see that from outside, outside meaning not from the outside of your company's gate, no, I'm not telling that. Just look at from a cool head, that is it required to be done? Same in our earliest previous session we discussed now, what, why, when, some basic fundamental questions. But remember one point, it's very easy to ask what, why, when, this is good. But you are a manager, you are leading a team. You must be thorough on that subject. Very easy to ask question, okay, what is this, why this? And manager do ask that, okay. But if you are a manager who has been built yourself from block by block, so you will be very well aware about the things that is, what is this all about? And then add a feature into it that you look the things just from the outside before getting inside to it, before swimming inside the bottle, you look from the outside. And that is called failure to set a course. If you directly get inside the problem, you will not understand what is required. Failure to set a course. What is required? How it is to be done? Who all should be involved in this? Does this task require to be aligned with somebody else? You're getting my point? So that's why it is very essential to set a course properly and to set a course. A simple example, we study our books, correct? In 9th grade, 10th grade engineering college, correct? Somebody has set that course for us that you will study that curriculum. And they are expert in their field. They are setting those books. But it is predefined curriculum of 9th grade, 10th grade and MBA courses. But that is not the case with our profession. Every day we have a new challenge. Every day we have a new exams. So for that, you have to set a course every day, how to complete it. And this is only possible when you have a clarity of the thoughts. You know what should be the course of action on the subject. If there is a poor planning, and poor planning happens when your clear objectivity is missing. And when clear objectivity is missing, you will definitely miss your deadlines. You will be ineffective in your outcomes. Developing a compelling vision. To avoid confusion, managers must communicate a compelling vision with clear objective, creating a unified direction for the team. So the lack of clear vision has a response to develop a clear-cut, compelling vision. Let's go in this direction. This is the best confident way to complete this assignment, to take up this task, or to open this new business opportunity. So that's a concept of lack of vision. Poor communication. It sounds they are the common management terms, but that has a very bigger impact. As an individual role, in an individual role, probably the communication may not impact that much. Of course, it impacts in every stage, but not impact up to that scale. But when you are making, when you are acting, or when you are a manager, your improper communication may wipe out your whole business. And by the way, poor communication does not mean no communication. Poor communication does not mean small communication. No. Even sometime over communication or not communicating the things what you want or what support you need is also poor communication. I was not speaking anything, by the way, I was just expressing it. So what is that? It is as good as not speaking or not communicating the right thing to your stakeholders. Stakeholder could be your team member also, could be external agency also, or your colleagues in other company also. So these are very open communication, good listening. By the way, yes, communication does not mean always speaking. It's very important to be a good listener also. A manager should be a very good listener. Oh yes, I know. Okay, continue. Yeah, thank you. No, that is also a big problem of poor communication. You don't want to hear. You don't want to record what is happening around you. So how you will build up your network? How you will build up your data bank? Because every day the scenarios are changing in industry. Within your own organization, scenarios are changing. How you will build up yourself? So that's why the poor communication is one of the prime concern for the manager's failure. Inadequate leadership skills. See, leadership skill development is very important, okay? And it does not come in one day, means attending a leadership development program, they are required, I'm not denying, okay. But that basic thread of that leadership, if it is missing, and you are not working on the leadership qualities, and you are only relying that you are the boss and everybody will listen to you because of your boss, you will lose your team, you will lose your position, and you will lose your productivity at the end. And the day you lose your productivity, the company will lose you, or you will lose the company. It's a game of productivity, by the way. It's a professional world, it's a game of productivity. So your leadership skills, your boss skills, if the company is becoming non-productive with your presence, you are no more required in the company. And if they are keeping you only up to the time they are not getting the right candidate for you in your position. Or probably they have given you the big name, but they are not looking you as a manager. They are just looking you as an individual role. So that's your call. I'm manager so and so, but what's your role and responsibility? Does it define that you are leading the task? So be clear about this. What happened, you know what? After working in an industry for a couple of years in the beginning, and you develop some skills, technical skills and all, okay? And then you become manager, and then you say, see, look, I become manager now, and I know the technical things very smartly. Actually, when you become manager, your technical skills only require 10, 15 or 20%. What is required more is your interpersonal skills. How to lead effectively, how to motivate team to work effectively. Are you able to maintain the morale of your team? Because as a leader, as a manager, you don't work, your team work. Of course you work, but you work as a team, and you manage to showcase that your team is working as a one box. And the most important point is you should invest in your leadership quality building. Read the books. Read the leader's profile. Try to be a good listener. Be a good mentor, and try to take one good mentor who can guide you adequately. That's why in industry that mentorship program continues. And that, by the way, that mentorship program continues, but it lasts for a long. My previous organization, when I was working 12, 13 years before, so I was a mentor for the fresh graduates. Still our relationships continue in that fashion. So that depends on you, that how you are building up your how you are maintaining and how you are developing your leadership skills. Different options are available to do that. Multiple options are available for that. Very interesting slide. Failure to delegate. As a manager, you lack self-confidence to a high degree that you have a fear to delegate the task to others. That they may fail. If they fail, I will get a bad name, so let me do it myself. Baba, you are manager now. Come out of the individual role. This is point number 1, fear of failure. So fear of failure lead to failure to delegate. And the second thing is, if you have not learned step by step, block by block, I am again repeating this word, now remember this point, because I have run through my life in the same pattern. And that's why in the opening slide I said Satya Nadella, when he joined Microsoft in 1992, he did not thought that I will become a CEO in 2014 after 22 years in a company called Microsoft. Probably he thought I may not be there in the company, this company may not be there, we do not know. But forget this, you will be there in the company will not be there, forget everything aside. But every day you build yourself. You invest on yourself. And as soon as you invest on yourself, automatically your company start investing on you. Because it's a clear-cut footprints are visible. So the first point is failure to delegate, okay? Because your self-confidence is so low, or you have a so fear that, I think he may do, he may not do. That is point number 1. Point number 2, because you are not build up yourself block by block, even you are not aware about the processes. So still you are in that learning stage. When you even become manager, if any problem is given to you, still you want to revisit that, you want to open the box and want to learn it. Arre Baba, you should have learned before, when you were in that role. So the point to take away at this important point is that you can do a poor delegations, lack of trust, and then you will be overloading yourself unnecessary, leading to your failures. So delegate. Don't do micromanagement. Trust. Put the right skill person on the job. Build your team. And once you do that, believe me, you will not have a fear to delegate. And what will happen at the most? As a leader, you should be able to take the risk. Even you have put all the bet on the right horse. Probably that right horse may do mistake on that day. So what will happen? You lose on that day, correct? So that will be also a learning experience for you. But if you have a confidence to delegate, surely your team will run better than you. Build that confidence on your team, that manager trust on his team more than manager himself. But every time doubtful questions, doubts on the outputs will not lead you anywhere. And many of the managers fail. This is one of the most prominent reason for a manager to fail, because he doesn't know what is his boundary and what is his team's boundary. He wants to intervene in everything. No. You have more things to think. You have been made manager to think from outside, think for a more longer vision. See how company will continue working successfully for next 5 years. That is your task. What are the immediate challenges are there in your company and how you will mitigate? That is your task. So delegate all other things which you are not supposed to do. Clear-cut guidelines. Draw the lines. Emotional and interpersonal challenges. Yes. Very critical. We always say, because that is one of my favorite. Point. I always say, and in fact, it should be favorite for all because it makes the sense a lot. Even Ratan Tata said, that empathy is one of the critical parameters for any organization, any institutions, or any individuals. Emotional intelligence. What happens? Under the pressure, managers become robots. Clear? Manager becomes robots. And when manager becomes robots, in, out, that definition starts. The employee is a processing box, give him input, he'll give output. Input, output. No. is a human being. He needs a sensitive approach. He needs some emotional intelligence. You know what I told you in my previous session, if I am not wrong, I told you this, that our industry, in our schools, we have the counselor. So whenever students are facing some issue, they are going to the counselor. Similarly, in the industry also, there is a position called industrial psychologist. And their job is to support the mental health of the employees, well-being of the employees. When we took our last session, correct? I said that. As a manager, I will not tell you to bring an emotional, what you call it, an industrial psychologist. If you bring, that's great. But if you are not there, if he's not there, remember, you act as a manager, you act as an industrial psychologist for your team. They look at you for solutions. It's not only technical solutions. They look at your financial advices. They look you for their emotional imbalances to balance it out. So, make sure that you develop that emotional EQ, emotional quotient, emotional intelligence within you, so that if you made them in well-being, we saw that if employees emotional imbalance or emotional holistic development of employees, if your emotional and financial and mental, mainly emotional and mental health is good, your employee will be automatically driving very high, and he will be able to take care of even his physical health also. So that's why manager has to bridge this gap very effectively, and who lacks in this, they are not even aware about what is happening to their employees. Go on the board, talk to them sometime. Try to see what problems they are facing, other than the machine problems, other than the services problem, what other problems they are facing. Try to see that. Try to support them. Because it is not one-day activities. It's a continuous activities. I know everything. Don't try to teach me. I have not come up to this position like this. Resistance to change. Correct? Still believing in the past. Probably systems and modules might have changed. And now you are manager for last 3-4 years. Systems have changed because you are not working by hands. There are many software updates have come, which you are not aware because you are not into that business right now, by hands. Listen. Don't be a resistance to the change. I used to do like this. This I used to do like this is just could be an example to your team. But it is not a mandatory procedure for your team. You have to differentiate between these two things. I used to do like this, may be an example to your team. And there's nothing wrong in sharing that. And then your team tell you, sir, it used to be there at that time, oh wow, it was like this, but sir, now it has changed like this, and now it's happening like this. Take that input also from them. Collaborate both. See, you will create a wonder out of that. So, the growth mindset, acceptance to change. Why do you, when in your mobile, when the software updates comes, correct? Okay, you immediately update your mobile, correct? Because you have a fear that your mobile will become obsolete, your mobile will become slow. So when you are updating your mobile for the latest software version, why don't you keep updating yourself? And if you do that, resistance to change slide will be just thrown out of the computer just like this. So keep updating yourself. Keep understanding, keep sharing your experiences, and at the same time, keep updating yourself from the latest information that will automatically drop the resistance to change. Neglecting employees' development. Okay? If you do not ensure that your employees are having proper skill set, or your employees are not upgraded to proper skill set, then not only you are making your team also an obsolete team. Your team is not in real-time mode. They all will be good at their mobile in the real-time mode, but when it comes to works, a specific set of systems, your team is not updated. And if your team is not updated, who are working by hand for you, or who are working on machines, or who are working on a systems, financial systems, if that team is not updated, in turn you are not updated. Because they are your hand, eye, ear in delivering the product or services. So that's why neglecting employee development costs a lot. And automatically, you know that in general, the humans are considered comfort. Okay, let's be in our comfort zones. Okay, and when you go to your comfort zone, you develop a resistance to change. And when you resistance to change develop, automatically stagnation happens. Your employees are not willing to get out of their comfort zone and do miracles. So make sure you keep your employees on toes for learning the new things. Teach them, give them good development programs, engage them. Send your employees sometimes out of the office and tell them, go in market today and find out how our computer, it is not his role, but go in the market today or go to the XYZ area of the city and find out how our competitors are doing. That is also development of your employees. That you are allowing your employees to get educated. So my point here is that development of your employee is very important. How you develop them? Go back to the first slide. I said you have to set the course. So you decide how to develop. You decide the course. That which course will be good for my employees. What should I do so that my employees' growth will be very good to fit for purpose, without making a stagnated water which smells after some days. Lack of accountability. And I will just read this and then I will explain. Lack of accountability. Shifting the blame. Avoiding responsibility. Erode trust and creates a negative workplace culture. Managers must acknowledge their part in outcomes. As a manager, you must have a direct courage to say that it's me who did this mistake. I am responsible. The time you develop this culture in front of your employees, they will automatically start admitting their mistakes without any hesitation. And when you do that, your system becomes so clear that you need not to do any root cause analysis for any problem. 50% of job is automatically done. No blame. If you admit that I did mistake, why to blame? Today I said I did blame, tomorrow somebody else will say, sir, this is my mistake, I did it. Continue. And it automatically increases the very high degree of team morale, which indicates that your team is ready to accept. As a team is ready to celebrate the success, the team is ready to accept their mistakes also. So, be an owner of mistakes. Tell your subordinate that don't worry, do mistakes, I'm not worried. I still remember because whenever this topic comes, one example always hit in my mind, and I think I might have shared with you guys. When I joined the company at the age of 22 and a half, ONGC in India, oil and gas company. So one of my first boss, he said, Nitin, God bless him, he said, Nitin, ONGC is a rich company, don't worry. Okay. and even I'll say Indian currency, अगर 5 करोड़ का सामान भी खराब हो गया, that means even if the 5 crores worth value of rupees equivalent has gone spoiled, don't worry, company has a lot of money, but learn that 5 crore is equivalent to, and I was young boy, 22 and a half, 23 years boy, that is equivalent to, if I say in Kuwaiti dinar, not that time, even this time, it is almost equivalent to 250,000 KD, Kuwaiti dinar. Or I will say 750,000 US dollar, almost 3/4 of a million. I did not spoil. See, this is a confidence. When your bosses give that confidence, your leaders give, your managers that confidence. I could not able to, I never spoiled even 1 penny for my company because I own the company, okay. But that gave me a confidence, Nitin, don't be afraid of taking the challenges. So that's why when you become a manager, or when you are not becoming the manager, but when you are building yourself block by block for tomorrow's manager, try to take the risk. Take all precautions, but try to take the risk. Don't be afraid of the risk. Take the challenges. Because if you will take challenge now, surely when you become manager, you will take challenges and you will make your team to take the challenges. Otherwise, you will not be fit for a manager. Okay, you need to take challenges. Then only you can maintain the productivity.